In less than 1 hour at midnight, the new recreational marijuana law goes into effect statewide.
Cities, towns, and police are getting ready. And tonight we have team coverage for you on what cities are doing to prepare. Let's begin with News 8's Shayna Ferreira. She's live in New Haven for us tonight with what we should all know about this new law. Shayna?
Well, Mayor Justin Elliker standing side by side with his health director, Maritza Bond, and acting police chief Renee Dominguez, laying out what this new marijuana law will look like in the city of New Haven from both a health perspective and a legal perspective, letting everyone know in the Elm City where you can and cannot smoke pot. A rule of thumb city officials want everyone to know when it comes to the new recreational marijuana law going into effect on Thursday.
If you can't smoke cigarettes, you can't smoke marijuana as well.
Mayor Justin Elliker saying the rules that apply to cigarette smokers will now apply to pot smokers when it comes to where you can light up, explaining what is and isn't legal.
In addition, paraphernalia, the possession of paraphernalia, such as pipes and bongs, are also legal now as well.
But a big question is this: where is it legal to smoke weed in New Haven? Let's start with where you can't. Restaurants, school grounds, bars, dorms at private and public schools, playgrounds, areas within 25 feet of public buildings, in a car, even as a passenger, are all off limits. A place you can't smoke, however, is your own private property. And if you're a renter, you'd be at the landlord's mercy on that allowance. Acting Police Chief Renee Dominguez breaking down how enforcement will look with marijuana infractions that overstep what will now be legal.
21 and up marijuana up to 1.5 ounces on your person is legal. 1.5 to 5 ounces on your first offense is a $100 fine, a $100 infraction. The second offense is a $250 infraction. If it's over 5 ounces, if you have over 5 ounces on you, the first offense is a $500 infraction, and the second offense is a Class C misdemeanor.
A concern for city officials, though, those who may drive under the influence.
Driving while impaired is illegal, and people should not do so.
Hoping residents remember to simply be courteous of others.
The most important thing is that people are respectful.
Now, there was an amendment to this new legislation that required cities and municipalities with over 50,000 residents to designate an outdoor smoking area designated specifically for smoking pot. But Mayor Elliker brought some clarity to that situation specifically for the city of New Haven. He says it only applies if the city has a prohibition against marijuana, and New Haven is not one of them. So there won't be any specific designated outdoor spaces designated for smoking pot. Of course, you can smoke it, but within those parameters of the new law. We're live in New Haven. Shayna Ferreira, News 8.
Now, the city of Waterbury is holding off on allowing recreational pot sales and cultivation for a while.
News 8's Stephanie Simone joins us now live with what was decided at a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting tonight. Stephanie?
Well, Dennis and Ann, Waterbury's mayor weighing in on this tonight, saying the recreational pot law is not only controversial, it's complicated, and there's no reason for the brass city to rush into things. The city's zoning commission voting tonight to not allow pot growing and selling businesses within city limits, at least for now. Under the state law, recreational marijuana businesses are not allowed to sell pot until May of 2022 at the earliest, and Waterbury Zoning Commission wants more time to make a decision on the issue. The mayor saying, let's pump the brakes.
We don't have a wheel here to reinvent. This is all new to us, and this is something that is controversial. I have heard from a number of different residents in this city who are vehemently opposed to this legislation for a variety of different reasons. I have also heard from residents of this city who are in agreement with this legislation.
Now tonight, the zoning board voted to set a public hearing for July 28th at 7 p.m. where they will hear from residents about the recreational marijuana law. That meeting will be held via Zoom. Stephanie Simone, News 8.
Several new laws are going into effect as well tomorrow. We've learned that law enforcement around the state is gearing up. The Police Officer Standard and Training Council sent guidance to departments. There are several changes, including officers can't search a car if they simply smell weed.
There are some changes that relate to searches, search and seizure, and probable cause, and using marijuana as a stepping stone towards a probable cause.
It's, of course, illegal to smoke a joint while you're driving, and if you're a passenger in a vehicle, it's also illegal to do that. The Police Chiefs Association tells News 8 it's challenging when legislation is passed with a quick turnaround.
We invite you to stay with News 8 for continuing coverage on legal marijuana in Connecticut. We have a special section on our website. You can get more on policing marijuana in our state, what cities and towns are doing, along with your employment questions. That's all on the News 8 app or WTNH.com.